And for our final video here, a little hopium, a little hopium on where Ethereum can possibly go, man, from the man himself. Let's see what hopium he can give us.
Okay, so let me explain to you why Ethereum, now that we've talked about crypto, Ethereum is the future of finance. And what I mean by that is Ethereum in this year, it's having its 1971 moment. But what I'm saying is that in 1971, the dollar went off the gold standard. And in 1971, it galvanized Wall Street to create financial products to make sure the dollar would be the reserve currency. Well, in 2025, we're tokenizing everything. So it's not just the dollar that's getting tokenized, but it's stocks, bonds, real estate. And Wall Street is again going to take advantage of that and create products onto a smart contract platform. And where they're building this is on Ethereum. And today, if you look at the share of real world assets, and the prior panel talked about that, the majority of this, the vast majority, is being built on Ethereum. Even he has said Ethereum has won the smart contract war. As you know, Ethereum has been range bound for 5 years, as I've shaded here, but it's begun to break out. And that's one of the reasons why myself and Mosaics, Shen from Mosaics is here, we got very involved with Ethereum by turning Bitmine into an Ethereum treasury company because we saw this breakout coming. Now, this might actually be more important because Bitcoin and Ethereum are really the two most important crypto L1s or blockchains out there. But if 2025 is about tokenization, that means Ethereum's utility value should be rising. Therefore, you should watch this ratio. So I think Bitcoin is going to get to 250,000 within a few months. And if Ethereum
just need to get that Wall Street money, a bullish narrative here, Miguel,
I muted myself a couple times.
This was in December, the beginning of December in 25.
Yeah. But yeah, his takes are pretty crazy, but like long term, I think he's right. He is right, obviously, but is fucking
this ratio to Bitcoin gets back to its 8-year average, that's $12,000 for Ethereum. But I think Ethereum is going to become the future of finance, the payment rails of the future. And if it gets to 0.25 relative to Bitcoin, that's 62,000. So I think Ethereum at 3,000, of course, is grossly undervalued.
You want to go back to that chart and pause it there?
Yeah, that's a really
because he's basically saying, right there with the words low.
There we go.
Like, so he's basically saying Bitcoin at 250,000, Ethereum has a certain fraction of that. I forgot what number he said. And then that's how he gets those numbers. Excuse me. So if we look at like $100,000 Bitcoin, right? Like he's like, he thinks, Ethereum under $5,000 there would be the 8-year average. And then, the higher end of Bitcoin at $100,000. If it was a full payment rail at this point, it'd be, 25K, but it's, ETH is not, that area yet. So, it's kind of interesting. Oh yeah. So he says 0.25 of a Bitcoin versus 0.05.
Right. And, obviously it could be a range, it could be a range and stuff like that, obviously as well. So it's the math still ends up being like, how hot is Bitcoin? Gives like a certain, and this is something that we've done since the first ever crypto mindset courses, is that like the thermostat for how high these altcoins can go and how like crazy things is like, what is the returns for BTC? Now the problem also is like there's a secondary part of it that Ethereum is keeping up to that, and then that causes through the liquidity pools in DeFi causes like a massive alt run, which everyone's very happy about because these speculations in the alt seasons turn into real wealth in BTC and Ethereum and stables eventually. And then the people who end up taking those profits are, ascended basically.